everybody, it's Wallguy, and I'm giving my How to Get Good at Online FPS Games series a break this time because I want to bring back a little bit of my Warfighter Talk series. This is because I've been getting lots of questions from subscribers and various people wanting to know my thoughts on the current Warfighter situation. I kind of put that series on hold for a while because there was really no new developments or things that I wanted to touch on, so rather than make a fluff piece, I decided I would just let it sit until something did develop. Well, we've got new developments now. But first, let me introduce this gameplay. It's a really fun game, lots of action. I came in against a team that had been dominated, and they were used to having their victories, and they had a lot of confidence. They had gotten their team going, and so they were rushing out a lot, just storming the objectives. They felt real good about themselves, so I had to try to, mess up their day a little bit, knock over that ice cream cone, as I like to say, and do my work. But of course, you know what happens every time an ice cream cone is knocked over. There's always some baby or little toddler boy sitting nearby who starts crying. I mean, I would start crying if I lost my ice cream cone. So it's perfectly understandable that there's a baby in this server too. This time his name is Fuck You. Clever name, very funny. But I'm gonna have to say fuck you, because I don't cheat. And if you see this, I hope you're man enough to apologize. In any case, as the game goes on, he gets more and more frustrated and starts to spam the chat with various complaints and accusations. Then he loses it to a point where even though someone else informs him that he's basically chewing out the admin of the server right now, he's like, oh, go ahead and ban me, I don't care. One of those self-destructive rants that stupid, immature people like to do. So enjoy that side story as I take this team apart. So let's spend the rest of the time talking about Warfighter. For those of you who want to know what I think of Warfighter currently, if you haven't achieved a response through asking a question or whatever, I'm still really excited about it. I know some things about it that make me happy, and I also have followed the footage most people have followed, and I'm hopeful that it'll turn out well and hopefully be a strong replacement for Medal of Honor 2010, something that I can dig into and play repeatedly for, hopefully the next couple of years. We'll see. Not that I'll necessarily give up playing 2010. A good game is a good game, and as long as it keeps attracting me to playing it, I will keep coming back. So I'm still excited about Warfighter, still going to be there on day one, still going to bring you footage as soon as I can, my first impressions, my first play. Meowth will be there too, doing the same thing. It's going to be an exciting time, a busy time for us. Think of my Armored Kill coverage for its launch times 10. It'll be a fun time. Many of you might already know the news that I'm about to speak on, and that is there is a Medal of Honor Warfighter beta coming. The catch is that it's only on the Xbox, and of course, I play Medal of Honor on the PC. But that doesn't mean that I won't be there playing it. I do own an Xbox, I own all the systems, and I'll happily try out the beta on the Xbox and bring you coverage on it best I can. The beta will be taking place on a single map from what we know so far, which is Sarajevo Stadium in Bosnia. The mode is Hotspot, so that's a new mode for us. Hotspot is a 10 versus 10 mode where you hunt down randomly spawning objectives and attack and defend them depending on which team you're playing on. Should be interesting. I don't know how much I'll like that compared to the usual sector control or team assault that I like to play, but I'm willing to try it. It sounds like an interesting idea, and we'll just see. And that's what's going to be available, so expect footage from that whenever it drops, supposedly early in October. That's the setup. That's what Xbox users will be enjoying in early October, while PS3 and PC users are not. Let's talk about that a little. I mean, PS3 and PC owners are being left out of this little bit of early fun release, and I'm sure that leaves a lot of them really frustrated and upset if they don't have an Xbox. They feel left out. They probably, there's lots of people who poured their heart and soul into Medal of Honor 2010. They stuck with it when a lot of people left it in the dust. And now they're getting punished by not getting what the Xbox users are. Those accusations are starting to pop up. Wallguy is a fucking hack! Well, first of all, I don't even consider this a beta because it's not a beta. True beta is what was going on in the summer and late summer, where they were, working on the beta internally, testing the game, trying to squash bugs, do all that stuff. You can argue that it's a much better idea to have a public beta. I'm one of those people that agree with that. But in any case, they decided to handle the beta internally. What this thing with the Xbox users, is a marketing tool used by Microsoft, basically. What they do is they pay EA a certain sum of money to get this windowed exclusivity of the game on their system. And why do they do this? Why do they spend the money? It's only a couple weeks in advance, what's the big deal? Well, companies like Microsoft, they feel that when they get these windows of exclusivity, people who are potentially going to buy the game will buy it on Xbox, or they'll buy an Xbox for that game. And at the very least, they're hoping that people will see the Xbox as the premier platform for Medal of Honor Warfighter. And they're doing this because they see Medal of Honor Warfighter as a game with big potential, could be a blockbuster, could be the next big thing, and they wanted to get right on that one. Look at that cruise. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. I panned around there so you could see the full extent of that flash, but pretty fucking awesome. Anyways, Microsoft is, hoping to ride that Warfighter money train, and they figured the best way to do that would be to drop a few money hats and see if they could get the general public to say, hey, Xbox is a place to be for Medal of Honor Warfighter. I spent a couple years as a higher up in a marketing firm, and my personal opinion is that exclusivity deals like this are not a good idea. You'll see a lot of people canceling their pre-orders for the game, period, because they're upset that they got the short end of the stick. You've got ill will basically coming on two platforms, the PS3 and the PC, because they're left out. Now the Xbox people, they might be perhaps excited and championing this as some kind of win over the other systems if they're like those sort of people. But at best, you're getting one happy crowd and two unhappy crowds. And that's not good for your game in general for a third party like EA, who wants the most people possible to play the game on every platform. My team's giving a fuck you crap about whining so much. Good times. So this isn't really technically a beta. At best, you could say it's a server stress test for the Xbox crowd. And of course, EA will learn things from this quote-unquote beta that will help them down the road. But it's not really a beta. I mean, they can't make any changes before the game comes out. All the retail versions of the game are being boxed up as we speak. What do I think about this whole exclusivity thing personally? Well, honestly, I'm too jaded to give a shit. I've been following industry developments closely since probably the 80s, mid to late 80s. And I know real well how the industry works. Exclusivity has been a thing that they've been doing for, forever and ever, especially in the last 10-15 years. So when it happens with a up-and-coming game like Warfighter, you don't get surprised. Yeah, I think it's unfair, but what are you gonna do? In the end of the day, it's a month until the game comes out. Xbox users get a 3-week head start. Good for them. They're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna have some fun because I have an Xbox. And if you stay tuned to this channel, you can have some fun too. See you soon.